Today, we've learned that people who have family members in nursing homes need to definitely check to see if one particular form is filled out properly so that their loved ones are resuscitated if that is what they wish to happen, should the person face a life-threatening situation inside the nursing home or hospital. An article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution today showed that there are numerous examples of problems created by these forms not being properly filed or being signed by people who don't have the cognitive ability to fill out the form, which is having some pretty catastrophic outcomes for folks who unknowingly signed forms that said, do not resuscitate, or family members who unknowingly had forms for do not resuscitate for their loved ones. Pretty shocking information. I think a reminder that everybody who has someone in a nursing home needs to check and make sure that this form reflects their wishes for what happens when the patient is in a life and death situation.
The form we're talking about is referred to as a do not resuscitate order. And basically what's happened is a person goes into a nursing home or a senior care facility. They're generally at intake given a bunch of forms to fill out. And one of those is going to be this order, and we will take a look at it. And so this is the physician order for life sustaining treatment, otherwise known as a PULSE. So this is the form that you should go and check to make sure that this is properly filled out. This gives the instructions to a physician on whether or not the patient would want to be resuscitated or not, or to allow natural death to occur. And it gives various different other selections for them to select their wishes. And this has to be signed by the patient and a physician. And if the patient does not have the cognitive ability, then it needs to be signed by somebody that's authorized in either a durable power of attorney for healthcare decisions or some kind of an advance directive. But the issue that this article focuses on is these facilities have been encouraging people to sign these or make a decision on these, and family members didn't even know this was happening. And one of the examples they gave was of a brother who was the official or was the authorized caretaker of a woman who had the mental capacity of a 10-year-old. And she signed a do not resuscitate order, and the brother had no idea. Nobody informed him at all. And so when his sister went into an emergency situation, they did not resuscitate her pursuant to that order that she signed. And so if you have a loved one in a senior care facility that might not have the mental capacity to make that kind of a decision, or you are the one that's authorized to make those decisions on their behalf, you need to go check with those facilities. An investigation with Georgia's Department of Community Health found over the past 5 years that DNR paperwork in 100 different circumstances was not properly completed. And going back to the example of the brother and sister, the facility where the sister was residing, the lawsuit alleges that one facility had 190 improperly created do not resuscitate orders on file.
Wow, that's shocking. So you're telling me that this lawsuit filed over this one individual who allegedly had a do not resuscitate order that the family did not want, and this, as a result, this person was not resuscitated and they were only 73 years old. So this was against the family's wishes, obviously something that cannot be taken back. And that was all done because the patient, who probably did not have the cognitive ability to do that, at least that's what's alleged in the lawsuit, signed that paperwork without the family knowing. And as a result, they didn't even try to resuscitate this person when they had a medical crisis. I assume they know this through discovery or something as part of this lawsuit, that they were able to see other files. And in this one facility in Georgia, they found over 190 examples of forms that may have been improperly filled out or signed regarding patients at that one facility. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's unbelievable.
So what happens, Patrick, if the form is missing from the file?
I think the default would be that they would have to resuscitate because the order's not there.
So the issue is if the order is mistakenly put as do not resuscitate, or is done by someone who doesn't understand what they're doing at the time because of their cognitive ability, that they may sign a do not resuscitate order. And once that order is in the file, there's no way to go back. You can't, the doctors are going to do whatever this post order says, regardless of what the family wishes at the time of the crisis.
Yeah, the example of the brother and sister, the facility called the brother while during the emergency, and he was begging them to resuscitate a sister. And they said that she had this DNR, this do not resuscitate order in the file. So they didn't even attempt to resuscitate her. So the brother has to live with that every day, that he was asking them to resuscitate. And he was the caretaker. So it's amazing.
So he would have had power of attorney, presumably, to fill this form out for a resuscitation order. But because it was in the file as do not resuscitate, there was no way to go back.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lesson for all of us is, if you have a loved one who is in a nursing or long-term care facility, whatever it may be, that you need to check to make sure that these resuscitation orders accurately reflect the family's wishes and the patient's wishes, because whatever in this form is what's going to happen at the time of a crisis. All right, interesting stuff. Patrick, this is really surprising, and I think that people can read more about this. I believe it was in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution today. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll leave a link in the comments section below.
Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day.